United Kingdom, the United States of America. Some may say we're not so different. We eat in the same restaurants. We drink in the same coffee shops, go to the same movies. We're even fighting the same wars. But when it comes to our political systems, just how similar are we? For the Houses of Parliament here in London, read Capitol Hill in Washington. MPs are elected to the House of Commons just as politicians are to the House of Representatives in the US. However, the House of Lords is an unelected chamber, whereas the Senate, the upper house in Washington, is fully elected. But essentially their role is one and the same. A bill must pass through the Commons and the Lords, the House of Representatives and the Senate, before it can be passed on to the head of state to be signed off as law.
The president's power is not unlimited, so he has to work within the construct of the system of checks and balances. So he can propose legislation, but if Congress sees fit not to pass it, he's nothing he can do about it.
Although not head of state like the President, the Prime Minister, who resides here in Downing Street, has lately often been seen as taking a more presidential role. The last general election also shifted the style of politics. For the first time, the three main party leaders held election debates, a phenomenon in the US for presidential elections since 1960.
I think that debate was very much more of an American flavor to it.
Westminster Abbey is where all the royals' religious ceremonies take place. Last year, Kate Middleton and Prince William got hitched at a cost of £20 million, partly paid for by the taxpayer. But how much does religion factor in UK politics? We have a religious head of state. We have unelected bishops sitting in the House of Lords. But when it comes to policy, religious alignment is not often mentioned. Compare that to the US, where constitutionally religion and politics should not mix, but presidential candidates openly declare their faith and how that affects them on issues such as abortion.
Abortion is an issue which fairly neatly divides the country. It's pretty much half and half, people being in favour of it, people thinking it should be banned. So it's an issue which isn't really party partisan, but because it's about life and because it's about religion, it really goes to the heart of what it means to be an American and the way they think their country should be run.
Queen Elizabeth has been unelected head of state for 50 years. President Obama can only be head of state for 8 years, with each president only being allowed to serve 2 terms. The Queen's role is mainly ceremonial, but she does still have the power, in theory, to overrule Parliament and the courts. It's courts like this, as well as Parliament, where UK law is set, and this can be challenged as far as our Supreme Court. Yet our Supreme Court differs to the US, as they decide whether laws are unconstitutional. The UK does not have a written constitution, but one set on precedent and Parliament. The US Constitution, however, is a cornerstone of this democracy and has only had 27 amendments, including the Bill of Rights, since its inception. So there we have it, the differences between the US and the UK in terms of their political systems. Which is better? You decide. This is Gareth, reporting for NewsLab.